Welcome to Uncovering the More, a podcast that invites you to explore the deeper layers of life using the Word of God and personal life experiences. I am your host, Nicole. Join me as we take the time to examine what faith in action looks like and discover what's possible when we dare to unearth our true selves to realize our greatest potential. This week's episode is sponsored by Things Above LLC, owned and operated by Miles Poole, who brings 15 years of experience as a certified law enforcement officer, and Valerie Doss Poole, who is a licensed notary for the state of Florida with over 10 years of experience. Things Above LLC provides reliable and efficient document notarization with a focus on client convenience and exceptional customer service. They are also committed to training firearm owners in the proper use, safety, and storage of firearms to eliminate accidental shootings. They are also pastors of New Dimensions Ministries, Inc., serving in the beautiful city of Clearwater, Florida. Please see the link below to learn more about their services. And please remember to like, rate, and share this podcast. Welcome to this week's episode of Uncovering the More, where I am super excited about this interview with a young lady that I follow on social media. If you tuned into last week's episode, you remember that me and my grandson Daniel talked about social media influencers and how we view their perspective on certain topics and how we find their information useful to us. Of all the places to meet a social media influencer, I met Ms. Brittania 718 at a high school football game where my grandson Daniel, who is a middle school age band student, he had the opportunity to play with a high school band on a Friday night. So as I was walking alongside the bleachers, I heard someone say to me that they liked my hair. I turned to offer a thank you, and I noticed her immediately as someone that I follow on YouTube, as one who shares a hairstyle like mine. And mine are sister locks. Well, let me tell you, I was shocked, dumbfounded, and totally surprised because this young lady has 19.4 thousand followers as of the date of this podcast for chronicling her sister locks hair journey for over 15 years. Her hair flows down past her waistline, and it is simply gorgeous. Please see the link below to her YouTube channel. I have also shared the link to the Trademark Sister Locks page for further information. So, without further ado, please listen in as we welcome Ms. Brittania 718. All right. Welcome to the Uncovering the More podcast, Miss Brittania 718, which is your IG handle. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself, because I never met a social influencer before. So meeting you was quite exciting for me. I'm all of 52 and I'm like, oh my God. So
Thank
tell
you.
us a little bit about yourself.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for the invitation. So yeah, Brittania 718, 718, however you want to say it. I mean, my cousin came up with that nickname for me years ago, Brittania, so it just stuck. And then 718 has to do with Brooklyn and the Bronx, the area code. So that's where that came from. But yeah, a little bit about me. I am originally from New York. I moved to Florida almost 10 years ago now. So been living here for a little while, and I've been locked up for 16 years already. I can't believe it's been that long, but yeah, 16 years. I've had my sister locks, and it's been a journey. It's been a wonderful journey, though, to say the least. But yeah.
Well, what made you decide to chronicle it? What made you decide to start this journey on YouTube?
So back in 2009, which is so crazy to say, there weren't that many people, like at least that were in my age range, that had sister locks. A lot of on the website, I saw some things, like I saw images and pictures, and there was this lady, I can't remember her name. I don't know if it was a sister lock diva or something, but she was on YouTube and she had a channel, and I loved her, how informative her page was. And I'm like, you know what? Her locks are already long and matured. Maybe I should start recording myself in the journey that I'm going through since I just started. And that's really what prompted it.
Okay, because I saw the first one and I kind of gradually saw your growth of not only just your videos, from the sound,
Oh
from
gosh.
your hair, the growth has it got
Yeah.
longer and longer, and you have very thick, full hair as well.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I thought it was very interesting. Now, did you face any doubts or pushbacks when you started your online journey?
Great question. So my online journey, I didn't really get much pushback or anything. It was more so just questions as to like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Do you want to put, yourself out there like that? But I'm like, yes, because if I have these questions and I'm newly starting, then I know there's going to be other people that are going to have questions or maybe interested in Sister Locks and don't know anything about it. So I was like, all right, let me do it. And then once like my family and friends, like I didn't tell everybody at first. And then once they started to see my videos, they became really supportive of my channel and my growth.
Oh, okay, okay. So what goes into planning your content? Because to me, when I see your content, it's just fun. It's just fun, it's natural, it's just so genuine, and it's funny too. I mean, I laugh. It's funny.
Thank you. So honestly, I used to spend a lot of time, and sometimes I do. I like spend a lot of time planning what I want to say. But I noticed for myself, the best videos that I have that do really well are the ones that I don't really think about. So sometimes if I see certain topics online, I'll make a note because I have a notepad in my phone with a bunch of different topics. And it'll just different thoughts that I can potentially make into a video. And then some days I'll sit here and I'll batch record a bunch of videos. I'll change my shirt, I'll change my accessories and things like that. So this way I can knock out a few videos in one day, but I can stretch it and make it more content as time goes on. But sometimes I really think about what I'm going to do and what I want to say, and at other times it just comes off on the whim.
Okay, okay. And then I did see also that you started a little bit of a weight loss
Yeah, yeah,
journey too. And I
yeah.
thought that was really, really cool. And one video in particular where you were talking about getting the weight loss in and you were just kind of making the movement. I thought that is so funny because at that time I was also, trying to do, I don't call it weight loss. I just call it fitness, helping
Yeah.
my heart,
Yep.
with the cardio because, with us as women, water fluctuates,
All the time.
and it'll drive you crazy. So for me, if my clothes are a little snug, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta back away from the table. So you did some of that journaling as well. You did some of that as well.
Yeah, I did. Because you know what? I didn't, as has gone on, I'm like, do I want to only just talk about Sister Locks or do I want to talk about other things? And I like everything. Like, so there's so many different areas and different aspects of myself. And I'm just like, all right, let me let people know what's going on. And I may not tell everything, right? But at least people like, because I've had people comment like, hey, I seen you lost weight. Like I could see what you're doing. So I'm like, you know what? Let me make a video about it and things like that. So I try to, because we're human, my weight goes up and down. One day I'm like, all right, I'm feeling skinny. The other day I'm just like, listen, I want to eat everything. So I just try to make relatable content because as in our 40s and stuff, it's just like, not everybody is gym body ready or beach ready. And I just want to just share my journey, whether good or bad. I like to just share it all.
Well, that's a good thing, and it's also brave too. So, how much time do you spend doing your videos now versus in the beginning?
I honestly, it's less time now because I have an idea of like what I want and what my goal is for the video. So as long as I'm able to record it with minimal issues and things like that, the recording process may take not long. I've had videos where I've recorded it in one take and it was good. I'm like, all right, cool. And then with the editing, that may take like 10 to 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes, depending on if I'm being lazy or not. But once I know what direction, what angle I'm looking for, it doesn't take me very long. Like if I really sat down and tried to plan it from recording to editing, depending on how many videos, I would say like an hour or so. Yeah,
That's not
and
bad.
it's not, and that's why I just need to just not be lazy and just, try to take a day and just edit as many things. 'Cause I have a bunch of videos that I've recorded. I just need to edit it, but it's just finding the time to do so.
What software do you use?
My phone, my iPhone. Yeah. So
Okay.
when I'm making videos, if I'm doing long form content for YouTube, which I haven't done in a while because the shorts are just so quick and it's easy to get the reels and those things out. But when I'm doing like short form content, I use my phone and I use CapCut. And then for long form YouTube content, I have iMovie that I use, and that's been helpful. I did have another program when I had a PC. I was using Sony Vegas, and that one was a good one too. But with the iMovie, since I have a Mac now, that's been what I use.
Okay. Okay. I love the Mac. I love the Mac.
Yes.
Okay. So, at what point did you realize your content was really beginning to influence people?
Oh my goodness. So and it happened to me a couple of times. So back in Brooklyn, I've had people that I'm walking down the street and they're like, "Oh, I follow you on YouTube. I got locks because of you." And I'm just like, "Oh, snap. That's so cool." And then like now, like even at work, I've had people when we were in the office, this one, I'll never forget it. This one lady, we're in the cafeteria and I'm getting breakfast. And she just says to me, "You better not cut your hair." And I was just like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I saw your video this morning." I'm like, "I can't even get a hello or good morning, nothing. You just gonna tell me don't cut your hair." But then it's like, and then I have people that leave comments and tell me that they've been following me since the beginning of my journey. And then they finally decided to get locks or they got locks because they saw me with my journey. And then honestly, it's an emotional thing, but a good emotional because I'm just like, wow, I didn't think that me just sharing my journey would propel other people to want to get locks or to even consider locks, sister locks, whatever the case may be, is but to know that I may have had a hand in that journey. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
It
So
really
yeah,
is.
I love it so much.
Okay, so hmm, what's been your most surprising or viral post? And
Uh,
why do you think it resonated so much?
Oh my gosh. So I have on my YouTube, not excuse me, not my YouTube, my Instagram, I have a reel that I think I posted maybe a year or two ago that has like over 1 million views. And all it was,
Whoa.
right? I'm sitting in the salon chair and my loctician is doing my hair, but she's grabbing my hair and, so she's fluffing it to move it around. And all my voiceover says is, "Would you believe that it takes Taisha 3 to 3.5 hours to retighten all this hair?" And somehow that catapulted into like huge thing. And I've had some negative comments on there, and people were just like, "How? That doesn't even make sense. It's not even right. Look how long it like." But it created so much like conversation, whether good or bad or indifferent. There were so many different things, but I was not expecting that video to do the numbers that it did. I legit was just sitting in the chair and I just did a voiceover. So that's the thing that I mean when it comes to me making the content. Sometimes I'm just like recording and then whatever voice note or whatever voiceover I want to say comes to mind. But yeah, that one, I was not expecting that at all. And it was intriguing because it's just like, okay, maybe there are a lot of people who don't understand how locks work and how retightening works. So then maybe I need to make a video explaining that because I think people get confused with having the length of my hair doesn't equate to how long it takes to get my hair retightened. So that also helped, to spark a little bit of more content that I want to make as well too.
I think I saw that video. I did. And to really, your hair's thick. So 3.5 hours, I mean, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And honestly, with from all the lengths that my hair has been, that's been the pretty standard time frame for most people that are seasoned with doing locks. I did have a trainee once who used a clip tool, and that used to take her forever, forever. And my hair, I think at the time was probably mid back, if that maybe. And so that's the only time it's ever taken really long to get my hair retightened. But other than that, between 3 and 3.5 hours is pretty much standard for me.
Do you still enjoy the length?
Oh yeah, I do. It has its moments where sometimes I'm like, oh God, I gotta wash all of this hair, I gotta dry all of this. But no, I'm still enjoying the length so far.
I
Definitely.
remember I met Dr. Cornwell.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
met her once.
you did?
Yeah,
Where did you meet
yeah.
her?
Back in Brooklyn. Well, my old loctician back in New York, she had an event and she invited her and she came. And so I got a chance to meet her as well there.
Her hair was like almost to the floor.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't
Yep.
seen her in a while, but I know it at that time, several years ago, I've been locked for 12 years and I met her before I got locked. And I
Oh,
bought her book, and at that time it was almost not, I don't know, almost to the floor. It was really long, and she's
yep.
a very beautiful lady, you know. She's very graceful.
Yes, and she's very sweet. And I think when I met her, I think I had like shoulder length hair when I met her. So I haven't seen her since, but I would love the opportunity to see her again and wonder how she's doing. But yeah, she was very sweet.
Yeah, very nice lady.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so how do you handle criticism or negativity that comes from being in the public eye?
I deleted it. I I
Okay.
I delete the comment. I take a screenshot and I send it to my friends and family. We laugh, we make jokes, but I delete it a lot of the time. Sometimes I do respond depending on what it is, but most of the time I delete it because I it's my page. I can do what I want, and I don't like all that negativity. Right? If you don't understand locks or if you have a question about it, there's a way you can say things without it coming across snarky or nasty. And it's just like, I'm not gonna delete and I just deleted. I used to take those things very, very much to heart, but I've learned that this is social media, right? People are going to say people are going to have an opinion, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Don't take it on. Don't take it on, Britt. Just let it go. And I just delete it. I delete
Right.
it.
And I think that's important too. Like even with the podcast, if it's something that's not for you, don't listen. Don't listen. And I say the same thing, to be honest, about, a bathing suit. If you don't like it, don't look. I
That's a
mean,
fact.
the older you get, the more you just
Stop
you don't
caring.
worry about those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to care big about what people think. I don't care anymore. I don't care. There's too much going on now. I'm just happy to be here. So
Yes.
whatever your thoughts and opinions of me, cool. I'm not up to I'm not here to change anybody's perception of me. Like if that's what you feel, all right, cool. But those who know me and I know me, so I'm not worried about what other people think anymore.
Hmm. Well, good for you, and good for us. The older
Yeah.
you get, you don't need that baggage. Excuse me. How, because you're more in the public eye, because you are considered, I think the word is social influencer, how do you protect your privacy?
I don't share a lot. I don't share much. And I try not to share everything because we are in an age now where everything is just everybody wants to just share everything. And some things I need to keep to myself. I do like I'll share like my family and things like that on high holy days, or like birthdays and things like that, holidays, that type of thing. But I try not to, I don't want to invade anybody else's privacy. So I just try to do my best in keeping things out of the eye of other folks. If I'm sharing something about myself, that's one thing, but I try not to include my family too much. They don't mind certain things because, it's family, but I just try my best not to over expose, because this I remember like growing up, with before social media, like everything was just digital cameras and that was it. There was no evidence of anything. Now you have your phone and it's just everywhere you turn, something can be online. So I just try my best not to post too much that can be too revealing about me and how to find me. So yeah.
Right. And I think that's wise. I mean, I think it's okay for people who want to be transparent, but I think there has to be a certain type of wisdom that goes along
Yeah.
with that, because what is it? World Wide Web, world. wide web. You have to take into consideration employment, where you work, what people will say and things like that. And I'm a nurse, I don't go around just sharing my podcast with everybody because it's something that I do for me. And
Mhm.
it's something that I do in hopes to encourage others. And when I saw you, I felt like you would encourage someone else, because the podcast is uncovering the more to life, past using past experiences, growing from it. And I think that's what you did. It wasn't just your hair growing, but I think it was you growing as a person and you
Oh,
stepping out,
yeah.
say, I want to share this, and I want to share it with others for
Oh,
people who have the same questions as me. So thank you for
oh,
doing
thank
that,
you. That
you
was
know?
beautiful. Thank you. No, I appreciate it because I never thought about it that way. So to hear that feels good. And I'm glad it's resonating and it's coming across that way because that's all I want. I just want us all to just win. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I like that. Is there any advice you would give to anyone that says, okay, well, I want to share my journey? Because, one thing that I've noticed, like what you said, you notice that there's not a lot out there sharing at that time. Now
Mhm.
you've got a lot of options, a lot of people that can share things, and sometimes people are very transparent. I noticed that if I want to look up thinning edges, with sister locks,
Yeah.
people are out there being vulnerable. You
Yeah.
know, is there any advice you would give to anyone that feels like they want to start a particular journey, be it hair, makeup, be it, video games, unboxing things, or what have you,
Mhm.
from the best of your ability, or what would you advise? What is the best advice you would give someone that's kind of on the fence?
I would say just record, right? Figure out what you like because sometimes you might think you want to do certain avenue or certain path, but then let's say you do makeup and you realize I don't really like to talk about makeup. I like the cameras that I'm using. I like to talk about the plants. I like to talk about wineries. Like, you just got to figure out what you like and just just record. Even if you don't share it online, record it so this way you can look back at it and see, okay, you know what? I do like what I did here. I do like what I'm talking about because it's easy to just BS your way through things that you don't care about. But once you love it and once you have a passion about it, it's not even work, it's fun. So if you can make it fun, and it's also informative, or even if it's just fun because you just want to do something different, just go for it. Don't wait, don't settle, record anything you want. You don't necessarily have to post it. Like you can, what I've also done too with my weight loss journey, I made a separate page just for myself and it's private. And I shared my stories on that page. Nobody else can see it but me. Nobody knows the name but me. But it's like you're still able to put it out there just in case if you want to actually make it public to other folks. So it's like you can see what it's like, see it, get a good grasp of it. And then from there, decide which avenue or which path you want to take when it comes to making content. But my main thing is just making sure that you're doing something that you find interesting. Because talking about something that you don't really like, it can work, but it's gonna come across as if you don't really care about what you're talking about to others. So as long as you love it, go for it. Why not? And that you start small and don't expect to go viral or to go and have a huge number of followings. It may not happen, right? I've had people ask me, like, how come I don't have as many followers as other people? I don't care about that. The number of followers don't mean anything. I like what I'm putting out into the public, and that's all that matters to me.
That's really great advice. And I like that because you said that you did it, you do it for you. And then as you accumulate your videos and you look at it, then you can go ahead and put it out there, kind of launch out, if you
Yeah.
will. And you
Oh,
never
small
know who you can help.
Yeah,
Very
because
good.
I've seen videos from big creators and small creators, and I'm always able to grab something from it. I may not resonate with everything, but something does become impactful with those videos that may spark something in me that I can share. So why not? Just do it. You just never know who's gonna land and who it's going to land on and who's gonna see it. Shoot for the moon. Why not?
I like that. I like that. And I think that's really good advice. All right. Well, I guess I'll let you go. Thank you again
Oh,
very much. And keep up the good work and keep encouraging people. People are looking.
thank you so much, Nicole. I had a blast. This was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a fun interview. And what you don't know is that I had to edit a lot because she and I went off on some tangents. We're both from New York, so we talked about double dutch and handball and double dutch rope turning and it went on, but it was really an enjoyable and fun interview. So some of the takeaways that I want to leave with you, because I always have takeaways and I always relate back to scripture. And I would say Philippians 4, verse 6 and 8, not to be anxious for anything because growth takes time. It took her 16 years to reach the goal of growing her hair all the way past her waist and beyond. I will say past her waist and beyond. And she chronicled that journey through YouTube and social media. And she used that opportunity because when she started her journey, there wasn't much out there. Which brings me to point number 2, opportunity. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1 and 7. When opportunity presents itself, go for it. There's no need to fear because guess what? We can create. We are created in God's image, who is the creator of everything, and we are made in his image. My third and final point is encouragement. Romans 8 and 31. If God be for you, who can be against you? Or as it says, if God be for us, who can be against you? So with that being said, she offered encouragement to those that wanted or were contemplating starting their own journey and actually sharing it with others. So I thank Miss Britannia 718. Her name is Brittany, but I just like her handle, Britannia 718, for taking the time to share with us. And again, as always, thank you for listening. I'm praying for you, and always continue to uncover the more in your life.